Born in 1932 in the United Kingdom, the world-famous English language learning expert and award-winning author of Direct English, Louis Alexander, was a member of the Council of Europe's Committee on Modern Language Teaching. He developed works that have been the basis of many communicative language courses and formed the common European framework of reference for languages. In 1977, he sold 4.7 million books, a feat recorded in the Guinness Book of Records as the greatest number of copies sold by an individual author in 1 year. Direct English is his ultimate masterpiece, offering an excellent spiral syllabus based on sound principles, supported by a highly developed methodology. He embraced any aspect of technology that could offer accessible benefits to the students. Direct English is designed for aspirational adults around the world. Whether preparing for future employment, looking for promotion, or gaining an edge on the competition, Direct English provides a learner-focused solution that enables students to achieve their goals. With 8 core levels from beginner to advanced, plus a business English level, Direct English helps thousands of adults every year master the international language of business and communication. Understanding the need for a measurable outcome, every Direct English Center and recognized by employers around the world. Contact us today to know if your country is available for franchising. Email us at info@directenglish.com.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Namit Gupta, and I work as a CEO for Direct English in India under the company called Aptitude Studios. Right. Today in the webinar, I will be completing the aspects related to Direct English. What this brand is from, what are the key focus areas for this brand, what are the deliverables in terms of course structure, what are the business models for this, right? Before starting with the perspective that why English. So today, India is called as a skill capital for the world, where there is a lot of requirement because India is a young population. So there is a lot of requirement of trained manpower in different parts of the world. And Direct English with the English communication skills, we can basically look at all training the manpower who are looking forward to migrate to various countries for job opportunities. Plus, in terms of the countries, 95 plus countries in the world and approximately 2 billion population today speak English as their primary language. So before moving forward, let me take you through a small deck about Direct English, and you can write your questions and your queries in the chat box, right? I will be very happy to answer all your queries after the presentation gets over, right? So you can write your questions on the chat box. I will be very happy to assist you with all the questions and answer that you may have, right? So as I briefed, Direct English is from the company called Aptitude Studios, to which I head in the capacity of Chief Operating Officer. And we are also the authorized registration partner for IELTS in association with IDP. So all my training centers are also eligible to take the students' registration for the IELTS examination. And as well as we can prepare a student for IELTS as well. Now, Aptitude Studios is the sister concern of Franchise India. So Franchise India is a synonym with the name of franchising. So they started their operation in 1997, and Franchise India today has possibly made every brand who have approached us to make them ready for franchising, and possibly every investor who looks at buying a business. So they might have taken some of the other services from Franchise India. So that's the scope of Franchise India today. Franchise India conducts the biggest of events in the country. We have our own publication of magazines in terms of Entrepreneurship India, in terms of Franchising World, and the Retailer India, where these are the leading magazines for franchising. We also conduct the biggest of events in terms of approximately 1,400 different events in different parts of the country, where we try to bring all the brands who are looking forward for right investors. And at the other side, we also have an investor pool who are invited to such events for their business buying purposes. We are also having the FranCorp, which is a consulting arm of Franchise India, which makes brands franchising ready, right? So that's how this company is a brief about Franchise India. So they have invested in the Aptitude Studios, and under Aptitude Studios, this is the first brand that we have brought in India, is direct English. Why direct English? Because you see that there are a lot of fragmented players in India. There is no any player who is available on the entire national front. So there are a lot of regional players or being run by the trainers themselves. So we thought that there's a too much of skill gap in terms of the English communication skills. Now these institutes actually prepare a student in terms of the structured way of learning, and that's where direct English brings that strength along with it. That a structured way of teaching English as per common European framework of references. So moving forward, so direct English, the mother company for direct English is LingvaPhone Group. LingvaPhone Group is into English language training since 1901, a legacy of more than 120 years. They already have presence in more than 20 countries worldwide and teaches 1 lakh plus students annually through two different mediums. One is through the physical training centers that they have in various parts of these countries, and also through direct English live interactive, where the native trainers of UK give online training to the students wherever they don't have the physical presence in terms of countries. They follow the methodology of Common European Framework, which is called a CEFR methodology. Anyone would have heard about A1, A2, B1, B2 kind of levels. So similarly, they also follow a level process, which I will be talking about in the subsequent slide. These are some of the countries with which direct English is already working and already present. So you can see that entire Middle East and South Asian countries, they are already there, including countries like Bahrain, Bulgaria, Israel, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Iraq, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Saudi Arabia, including my neighbors like Pakistan and Bangladesh. So direct English is already a renowned name in terms of all these countries, and they have been successfully delivering this English language training skills for the entire Middle East and South Asian countries. And last year we have brought this brand to India. So direct English live interactive I was talking about. So in 2020, during COVID time, they started this interactive online classes where the native trainers of UK gave training to the students from an online medium, and they have successfully trained more than 74,000 students through this process. Mr. Louis Alexander is the face behind this brand. He is not only the founder but also has written the entire content for direct English. He is known as the grammar guru in the circles of UK. He himself was a Guinness Book of World Record holder, where he sold approximately 4.7 billion books in a year, which is still date a record. He himself was an advisor to University of Cambridge and also the face behind creation of this common European framework of references, which are the European guidelines for training any of the foreign languages. Right? So he has been the face for English language. In terms of the Indian market size, everybody will be aware that possibly every 300 kilometers our language changes. More than 120 languages are spoken in India, and English is definitely a connecting language within all these regions and everything. And with India being a young population, approximately 12 to 13 crore young population is there who is looking forward for English communication skills as a major aspect. Plus, the entire market size itself is around 40,000 crore, which is approximately $5 billion as a market. In terms of Indian language training market drivers, so there are typically three segments I would divide into this. First is your B2C, which is business to consumer. A student from a sixth grade to even a college student, a college pass out, are all looking forward for English communication skills. The next is B2B, business to business, where nowadays corporates also have customer facing profiles. So they want their team members or the manpower to be fine tuned in terms of the English communication skills. Third is also B2G, where a lot of government institutions are promoting English as a language, where NSDC, if you might have heard about National Skill Development Corporation, through their campaign of skilling and skilling manforce for various countries, they are driving English as a communication skills, right? So there are a lot of languages that are spoken, but English is predominantly a connecting language. It's called as a global language. And why not? With 2 billion population across the world, understand and speak English with more than 95 countries. So there's a huge potential in terms of English language learning. In terms of older days, people used to do English language training only for those who looked at going abroad or study abroad or for settling abroad. But today, English has been the backbone for every student who is aspiring to make their careers, irrespective of whatever career opportunity they want to take, whether in terms of vocational training, whether they are qualified CA, or whether they are doing any beauty and wellness course. Anybody and everybody is today looking at English communication skills as an important aspect for driving their careers. And that's where we have brought this direct English into forte. So let us first of all understand the direct English life benefits. So first and foremost, direct English, there are no any books and copies for a student. The entire content and curriculum that the student get is on Learning Cloud, which is an application. It's a two-way interactive platform of learning management system, right? Wherein we have real scenario, video-based sessions. For an example, my level one is entirely shot at Sheraton Hotel, right, Houston, so that we are able to teach student a usable English. And that's where the most important aspect is. Whereas you will agree that till grade 10, everybody of us might have learned English, but the most challenging part is towards two aspects, which is your speaking and your listening skills in terms of that accent, right? And that is where direct English directly plays an important role to make a student ready for in terms of speaking and listening skills of English. Next, the entire syllabus is cyclical in nature. Why cyclical? If you know that we have learned any language and we have been able to build a language skills. Similarly, for English, the entire syllabus is cyclical because what we have taught in lesson one gets reproduced and rephrased in lesson four so that the student is able to build the language skills. And that is very, very important. In every level, there are 27 lessons. Every three lessons constitute a unit, and in every level, there are 9 units. After every 3 units, there is a test. So, student also, we understand that the objectivity of the entire training is very important to understand whether the student has really been able to absorb the training and has been able to implement that training. That are the key factors while teaching English, which is missing in most of these fragmented institutions or small time institutes. Next, the trainers that we always aspire to have or look forward from franchises are to be certified trainers. Who are these certified trainers? There are a lot of certified trainers who are available in India. They are called as CELTA certified, Cambridge English Language Testing certified trainers. There are IELTS certified trainers which are available in India who know the CFR methodology, and we accordingly train them in terms of how to use our system, our mechanism to train the students. More about our methodology. So, as I told to you, we follow CEFR, Common European Framework of References, where there's foundation plus 8 levels of English, foundation plus first 3 levels of the basic levels, right? Where the thematic areas of English are covered. Level 4, 5, 6 is all about interactional level, where most of conversation skills are, you can say, fine tuned upon, and 7, 8 are the advanced levels of skills. For a student, my level 6 makes somebody eligible for any of these examinations of IELTS, PT, or TOEFL. And that's the beauty because whenever a candidate comes to us, we first take a free test. This test happens on the direct English platform. It's a 15-minute multiple choice questions on grammar, vocabulary, and usage to understand the current level of a student, and accordingly the level is suggested. So it is not that any student is working to us and we directly take them admission into any of the levels. No. So there is first a test where we understand the student and accordingly the level is suggested for a student. In every level, we are talking about 72 hours of classroom training, 1.5 hours a day. So 48 classes need to be given. So if a student is typically coming for 3 days a week, then possibly in 4 months, they will be able to complete a complete level. The student also gets a certificate of direct English after completion of the training, which is as per CEFR aligned certificate. So these are some of the things. And also, I would like to add that 1.5 hours of class is also having three distinct features. Where first is the objectivity for the day, the second is language study and practice, and third, which is the most important aspect, is your conversation classes, your interactive sessions. So that is the where we encourage student to speak in English, and from where the student basically picks up. And as the entire content is on Learning Cloud, so we give a student an access 24 by 7 where they can practice. There is also a feature in my Learning Cloud where the student can record their voice, then can play back the voice so that they can work even on the nuances of their pronunciation. and that's how they improve the pronunciation. Because you will agree, in most of the training center, the student come for only 1 hour and get accustomed back to the same structure for last 23 hours. Whereas with this platform, they can definitely work upon their own skills. There is a skill test, there is a vocabulary. Also add approximately 800 to 900 words a student is able to learn in every level. And plus, we cover all the four aspects of English, which is reading, writing, listening, and speaking, which are the key four core areas for any language skills. Let us look at the benefits for my franchise partners. So, a franchise partner can have four distinguished business opportunities within this business. First, they can have an offline student who visits to a training center to get trained. So, it's a hybrid model where it's a physical trainer who gives the training and using the learning management system. The second is you can also start your online classes. The student from far flung areas who are not able to travel to your training center, you can very well integrate with any of the video conferencing tools and start the online classes for a student. The third is also a big chunk is there for school and institutional tie-ups. Think about a program where we can integrate from grade 6 to grade 12. And that is what the opportunity is provided by direct English. Plus, all the colleges today struggle for the placement of the student because the communication is the most important aspect for them. And we can definitely look at having a tie up. And this is where my business partners can gain access to the schools and colleges. And you can understand even by cracking 5 to 10 schools in your territory, the number of students that you can talk, right? That's the kind of volume that you can think about a business opportunity. Fourth is also corporate tie-ups. Now, most of the corporates are also looking at basic communication skills, email etiquettes, and so on and so forth. So you can also deliver such kind of programs for corporates. For in total, we have got three set of programs. One is a basic course, which is a one third of a level, an advanced course, which is a complete level. As I briefed to you, a complete level has 27 lessons. Every three lessons constitute a unit, and there are 9 units in every level. And the student has to undergo three tests in every level. Plus, we can also look at IELTS preparation, but for everybody, we have to conduct first a free test, which happens on direct English platform to understand their current level, and accordingly, the level is suggested to a student. Now, let's look at the market posting. So, what we have done, because as I told to you, Direct English Aptitude Studio comes from Franchise India, and we have created many brands over this our long journey, and this is the invested company. So, what we have done, we have done the survey in terms of what our competitors are doing. First and foremost, British Council and Cambridge they charge somewhere around 600 to 800 rupees per hour, rather beyond that fee structure. Plus, the batch sizes are also from 15 to 30 students, even 35 students. What we have done, even from a brand from UK, we have priced ourselves at around 200 rupees per hour, and we have limited our batch size to 10 to 15 students, so that it is not only economically viable for a student, but also individual attention is given to every student. Let us understand that what is the go-to-market strategy that we have created for direct English. There are two kind of business models that we have created. One is area developer, where we have divided the entire country into 21 regions. So anybody interested to take the regional rights, we can look at that as a business opportunity. The second is anybody want to start a training center of direct English. So these are two possibilities. One is an area developer, where we are talking about the regional structure. They get access and they get the revenue from every center. I will explain to you in the subsequent slide. Or somebody want to start a standalone training center. So in terms of the area developer, as I told you, we have divided the entire country to 21 regions. These are the regions that we have allocated. The green highlighted ones are the ones which we have already sold off. So we, as we speak, we have already given the rights for Delhi NCR, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Northeast, and Telangana. So these five territories have already been sold. And for other territories, we are inviting the right partners who want to take the area developer rights. The in terms of unit licenses, we also have signed few unit licenses, including Kullu in Himachal and Kolkata in West Bengal. Five of our training centers are already live. One in Delhi, one in Chennai, one in Hyderabad, one in Kerala, one in Kullu. My Guwahati and my Kolkata branch will be live by June end. Right. So that is the story so far. And all these centers are getting good traction of the students, and they are really getting the real thrust in terms of people who are looking to for English communication skills. So for an area developer model, I want to give that perspective to you. So what, unlike other master franchisee proposals, we are not charging any fees, which is absurd. So what we have done is there is a minimum rollout numbers that you can see in this table, that area developer has to have one center as their own center, and they need to have a minimum of this many number of centers. So for every territory, there is a rollout numbers, which are the minimum rollout numbers. It does not determine that my area developer cannot have more training centers other than this. They can definitely have, but the entire working is basis on the minimum rollout numbers. So give you an example, like for UP and Uttarakhand, it is 1 plus 15, right? The unit franchise fees for direct English is just 4 lakhs. Being an international brand, but still we have kept it very low at only 4 lakhs plus GST, where we do an agreement for a period of 5 years, right? So 15 into 4 is 60 lakh rupees. That's the capacity of franchise fees. And what we are doing is we are charging just 40% of that. That is only 24 lakh rupees, and somebody can take the area developer rights for both UP and Uttarakhand. Think about the possibility of UP and Uttarakhand. Area developer can easily have 40 to 50 training centers in UP and Uttarakhand, and that kind of a number of students and number of volume that one can expect. Only by investing 24 lakh rupees towards area developer fees and having a center which will not be more than 10 to 12 lakh rupees of investment, at around 35 40 lakh rupees of investment, somebody can take the area developer rights of the biggest states of the country, which is UP and Uttarakhand. So that's the beauty of the entire game. Now, once an area developer takes the area developer rights, there are 5 benefits to it. Point number one, in my illustration, I have not calculated any franchise fees for your own center. So the franchise fees for your own center is complimentary or waived off. The second, whenever a unit franchisee comes under that region, you get 60% of the franchise fee share. It means out of 4 lakhs, 2.4 lakhs goes to my area developer. Third, in terms of the student fees, there are three components: registration fees, learning cloud charges, and tuition fees. Right? Learning cloud charges, my unit franchisee collect from the student and give to the brand, because all the access comes from the UK. Right? There are margins for my area developer. Third, from the tuition fees, we charge a royalty of only 9%. In this 9%, there are three stakeholders. 3% goes to direct English in UK, 3% remains with us as master licensing, and 3% is passed on to my area developer. So think about a possibility where you're not only getting the share from the franchise fees, but also from all the students who are studying in your region. And the numbers can be abnormally high. You can look at around 50,000 students studying only from UP and Uttarakhand as a belt, which includes your students who are coming to your center. You can include the students who are taking the online classes. You can as well look at school and institutional tie-ups. So that's kind of a volume of business you can easily look at. And that's where area developer is the golden opportunity for somebody to tie up with, right? Because this opportunity is only one. So once an area developer is signed, finish. Then we can only look at unit license in that region. In terms of the unit licenses, what we require? We require a space of around 1,000, 1,200 to 1,500 square feet to have typically two classrooms, one small computer lab, two cubicles, a central cabin, and a reception area, just like a typical training center, with an investment of around 15 lakh rupees, which includes your setup cost of the training center, and 4 lakhs is only the franchise fees. So you can get your business in only 15 lakh rupees. It's a absolute opportunity for you to start a direct English center with a low investment of around 15 lakh rupees, and an excellent opportunity to align with one of the best players, which is the brand from UK. And you can expect a return of your investment in less than 5 to 6 months, because for a training center there are various batches. As I told to you, 72 hours of training, 1.5 hours a day. My training center work for 10 to 12 hours a day. So there can be multiple classes, multiple batches in a day, and alternate days. So you can even have twice. So think about the number of students. And that's the beauty of the entire game. Plus, education is a business where you don't require a showroom. Education businesses can be started from either the first or the second floor of the building. This is one business where you know the operating expenses on the very first day. It's a measurable business. You know that how many number of students are required to get into break even, and after that, it's pure profits. The only requirement may be once the number of students increase, you need to increase the number of trainer. Except that, everything remains consistent. You don't need to reinvest in a business of education. Education centers once created remains for years to come. It's a business which goes for legacies, right? You start your own business and you hand over this business to your grandchildren. That kind of a business opportunity is education, right? So these are some of the, and plus in recession, education is always the focus area. Today, the people are investing in education like never before. And this is an opportunity where you can take with an international brand coming to India with the best of structured learning and join hands with direct education. So these are some of the key focus areas. Now, what we are looking forward for? We require a person who is a go-getter, who can understand the operational terms of the center, how to manage the center, or they can recruit the right center head or a branch head. They should be aware of my marketing, that how to do the marketing, because for us the raw material is a student name and number, how many schools, how many colleges, what kind of activities I should do to get these numbers, so that my counselor can call and invite them to the center and convert them into admissions. They should be financially right, that they should be not only able to invest but also look at how they can go beyond in terms of their working capital requirement for 3 to 4 months till the time you have the desired number of students, and also for business expansion. And the entrepreneurial mindset is definitely required. So anyone who is already running an institute of any other nature are welcome to be my partners. Any woman entrepreneur who is looking at starting a business are my right fit. Any language trainer who is right now training languages are welcome to become my partners. So join hands with direct English. Now, in terms of the benefits, first and foremost, we give the end-to-end support. It starts from that how the center has to be made. It has to be created by you, but we give you all the guidelines in terms of color theme, in terms of international branding guidelines, so on and so forth. We also provide all the job descriptions of the manpower that we require in the training center. So typically in a training center, we require 4 to 5 team members. A counselor who handles the admissions, a marketing guy who does the marketing aspects, one trainer, a center head, and a receptionist, plus an office boy. That's it. And we give the job descriptions, and you can recruit, and we can train everybody as per the profile. We can even help in recruitment of manpower. Next, in terms of marketing, we have our own website where we create a separate landing page for every training center. We also have create your social media accounts, which are Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and give it access to you. We also set up the placement test, which is a free test I was talking about for every student, right? So we also provide you all the operation manual, trainer manual, and the marketing manuals. So all this kind of brand support is always there. The model is franchise owned, franchise operated, where you are at the driver's seat and all the guidelines come from us how to drive that car. And that's the beauty of the program. Because more you have the number of students, more profitability you can achieve from your training center. So to conclude, what you get, you are going to align with the industry, which is a high growth industry. Approximately 40,000 crore is the market size only for spoken English programs. You get an international curriculum, a UK curriculum, which is no doubtly the best among any other English language training skills. You get a brand which is already existing in more than 20 countries worldwide. So they already have been successfully running in so many countries. You get the best of teaching resources by Learning Cloud, learning management system for every student, which even have a feature where a student can record their voice and the system can play back the system, so that the student can work on the nuances of their pronunciation. And plus the brand support, everything from the training of the team members to marketing and operational support that we give to our business partners. So that's it from my side in terms of my presentation. I would like now to take up some of the questions, right? So that I will be able to give any answers. You can write down your questions in the chat box, right? Or Q&A session, right? You can note down my number. My name is Namit Gupta. My contact number is 9871132090, and my email ID is namit.gupta at directenglishindia.in. So you can write down in your question and answer box. In case you have any questions, I will be very happy to assist you with any of the questions. The question and answer box is available. Please do feel free to write any of your questions, or you can connect to me on one at my number, which is 9871132090, and I will be very happy to assist you to join hands with Direct English. So any questions, I'll be waiting for some of the queries to follow, right? So the first query has come that what is an area developer, right? So area developer is a business model where you give the state rights, you become a regional office, and you get the revenue from all the training centers that come under your region. And it is based on the minimum rollout numbers. So you give an area developer fees, which is 40% of the entire franchise fees, plus you open a training center. You get five benefits. First, we don't charge any franchise fees for your own center. Second, you get a 60% share on the franchise fees, which is 2.4 lakhs. Out of that, 4 lakh rupees collected. You also get sharing on the revenue from the students, both in terms of the learning cloud charges and also a 3% of the royalty share. So these are some of the benefits of taking the area developer. So thank you very much for your time, and I look forward for your queries, and let's join hands to take the best opportunity in terms of UK curriculum, direct English. Thank you very much.